Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Unpredicted Party, the only Middle-earth TTRPG that will finally answer the question, why didn't they just take the Eagles to Mordor? And we are one step closer to answering that question. Around me are my internet friends. Say hi, internet friends.
Hello, internet friends.
Semi-series regulars, still can't get rid of her, haven't found a reason to kill her off. Please welcome Charlotte A. Kavatica. Charlotte, thank you for being here.
Woo!
I'm a parasite.
You're with us forever.
Like a tumor of friendship.
It's benign. It's great.
Oh my God. Okay, we have some announcements.
It's
You're going to introduce the other guys again? You're going to skip these guys?
Surrounding
they know
me
us.
they know us at this
They
point.
might not.
Surrounding me are my internet friends, Horse Girl Tori Fox, Blacksmith Max Randolph, Moody Elf Boy in real life and as a character Zach Smith, and resident giver of migraines to me, Charlotte A. Kavatica. We begin.
It's here right here.
It's a deep penetrating behind the eyes kind of thing. We begin, as we always do, by thanking our sponsors. A special thanks to Free League Publishing. They sent us an advanced copy of The One Ring, their Middle-earth TTRPG, so we could play in a more fleshed out version of Middle-earth. If you would like to get your copy of The One Ring, do it at freeleaguepublishing.com. We also have to thank our second sponsor, therookandtheraven.com, for all of your TTRPG note-taking notes, even though it's mostly just been Tori. At this point, I'm not even surprised anymore. You can go to therookandtheraven.com for all of your cool notebooks and inserts and diagrams, and just go look at their website. It's really awesome.
Why did you turn into Jeff Goldblum halfway through there?
Oh, well, you know, I could go a little bit more. Well,
Don, for the rest of the announcements, you have to do your best Jeff Goldblum immediately.
If you really want to know, my little chickadees, we have some merchandise. You can go to Don Marshall 72's store at the link in my bio, not biography, but you can still learn a little bit about me. Flubberworm merch may, in fact, be coming very soon. We may have our break at the hour point because we need some little boys' rooms breaks. Anyway, a couple of thanks to some very special people. Special thanks to Sarah M. Shunky. She is at Sarah M. Shunky on Instagram. You can find our battle maps for Little Wit the Cartographer. Didn't know they still had those these days. I thought the entire world was mapped. Find his services on Facebook for all your TRPG map making notes. Finally, the music has been, it's been lovingly crafted by Cullen, Vance, and the man's a genius. You can stream all of his music on Spotify, Bandcamp, and iTunes, or you can go to his website. What is it here? I think it's cullenvancecreative.com. Without further ado, are we all ready to partake in our newest adventure in Middle-earth?
Yeah.
Sure.
That was superb.
Thank you.
Don!
Thank you.
That was a thing of beauty.
Gollum and Jeff Goldblum. Perfect.
You know what that was? That was the vocal embodiment of half shirtless, injured Jeff Goldblum.
100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well
Okay.
Well done.
Thank you. I've been practicing for years for this exact moment. Never come up until just now, but okay. Woo! Childhood dream thoroughly out of the way. Thank you all so much for that.
I can't believe you just did that.
Amazing.
Man, I make a joke and then the talent, he's just got the talent waiting.
You know,
gonna spring it.
You never have to
know.
get ready if you stay ready.
There it is.
That's an Abria Iyengar quote, and I've been thinking about it literally every day since she said it because, oh my God, it makes me feel so empowered by constantly being manic about so many things. Just really, it speaks to me in a way that I don't think anyone else really has. Anyway, are we all ready to go ahead and get started?
Let's go.
Sure are.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Bum, 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 bum. All right. And welcome back. Our adventuring party has been on the road for many months now and has traveled through many of the lands across Middle-earth, so I thought it would be nice to have just a little recap as we approach yet another kingdom within Middle-earth. So just to kind of briefly refresh everybody's memory, the party originally started out in Rivendell, where the Fellowship of the Ring traveled to take the Eagles to Mordor. That was their starting location. Of course, Gwaihir took the ring, the Fellowship is dead, and the rest of you are just trying to save the world and survive. Elrond, having one of the Elven Rings of Power, lost his hand after a tense battle with these three, and is really sort of not his tip-top shape. After Rivendell, we traveled to Cullen, where we discovered at the tomb of Aragorn that Arwen is pregnant with the child, the heir of Isildur. When we came back from Rivendell after carrying the bodies back, what's his face? The one that Arwen replaced, couldn't remember, Glorfindel. I should know that. I didn't. Glorfindel sent the party to Angmar, which is where they met a very excessive kind of man known as Halbarad, not to be confused with Halbrand from the Rings of Power. That's going to be an extra 6 HP, Tori, every time you accidentally... No, I'm kidding.
There's too many hells.
Also, I love the description, an excessive kind of man. Like, what's he like? How would you describe him? Excessive.
Very, very much so.
I'd like to point out, when I made my name, there was only Haldir. And
That's true.
We were both friends, and so it kind of made sense. There's so many Hals now that have just appeared from the woodwork.
It's the Hal Pals. You're starting a band.
Hal Pals, exactly.
The Hal Pals. All right. While you were in Angmar, you managed to recruit the Dunedain, figured out that the Blue Wizards were alive, and they decided they were going to go off on their own journey and adventure. They recruited Radagast. They're off on their way to Isengard to hopefully either, silence Saruman or to make him be on their side. You traveled then through the mountain pass, met a mountain troll named Marvin and a young girl named Alva. Or was that her mother's name? You never asked the mother's name. Alma. Her mother's name was Alva, but you never asked, and she was not about to tell you. So, not important. Maybe later. You then traveled to Lothlorien to help the realm. Discovered that I just see Tori looking over it. Now it's like, where is that encounter all those episodes ago? All right, so you went to Lothlorien, the forest is destroyed. Galadriel also had a ring of power. You managed to all survive despite my most sincere efforts, and I mean this so sincerely. I was trying to kill one of you, right? Whether it was Haldir or Halloweth with your 3 HP left, or Beery with your 4. I was very close. Anyway, Galadriel's alive. Yay! You then traveled upriver to meet with Thranduil. One of you decided to get a little frisky with him, got some cool stuff there, some items. You then traveled to southern Mirkwood, where you met the person that just really hasn't left your side since, one Lady Tariel, the redhead extraordinaire. After a after a brief confrontation, a big battle, a body swap, a funeral, a caravan meeting, a drinking game, and running into a wolf that could talk that turned out to be Gwaihir, being able to take control of another animal. You all find yourselves several miles away from Edoras and the Golden Hall of Meadowsill, the capital of Rohan.
You left out that we picked up Gollum.
Oh, so sorry. Yes, you did pick up Gollum, who is about to play a very important role in this session. So I will ask the 4 of you to go ahead and get started, because when we last left off, there was an idea of sending Grima a mighty gift and potentially using Gollum as a kind of hostage or negotiation piece. Charlotte, I will let you take it from here as Tariel begins her plan.
So Tariel, having been staring in the direction of Meduseld for a while, thinking about it, turns to the rest of the group and says, where, by the way, where is Gollum relative to us? Is he tied to Beery? Where is he? Who's got him?
Tied to
He's
Beery.
tied to Beery. Okay. So Tariel says, we have an opportunity here, an asset. We don't know what to expect in there. We don't know who's compromised, if anyone. And they're certainly not going to just let us walk in the front door.
Why not?
Well, if they think that we're potentially hostile to them, it sounds like they're not. You know that big caravan of people we've just passed.
Yeah, I mean, but that could be like bad old blood or something. I mean, I walked right into Rivendell and that worked out just fine. I mean, I almost got shot, but thanks to you, points at Tanel.
That is true.
I say we could just walk in through the front door.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've been thinking that we should maybe let's turn around. Let's not go to Rohan just yet.
What?
On second thought, let's not go to Camelot. It is a silly place.
Let's do a brave Sir Robin, and
that got me, buddy.
Head to anywhere else. Also, just because it's fun to see how far we can push Don to see it before going to
the panic attack he just lived through.
Yeah. It's like, what?
5 episodes you people have been stalling.
You put a caravan on our way, okay? It's not our problem.
You put 3 episodes of filler.
That's true.
Don just experienced all of his emotions at once.
He sure did.
Life flashed before his eyes. Staring off into the void.
Door.
Hello,
darkness. How bad could it be?
I agree that we should approach the front door, but I don't think they'll let us in unless we have something of value to offer. And we have this creature who we've never met before, and we just scooped up off the road, and we don't know what to do with. And we're willing.
What are you talking about? He's been with us for a while now.
It sounds like Beery's not picking up what she's laying down.
Would you like to make an insight check, Beery, or Charlotte?
Yes.
Would you like to lay it out for her?
She's gonna see if Beery can put it together.
Okay.
Okay, so I get to roll for.
Oh my god!
For insight, he has to beat a 16. But all he does is roll a d12. But I rolled a Gandalf. What happens now?
Okay, beyond all possible logic, you guys watch as Beery squints a little bit, looks at the 3 of you, and instantly it comes to him. Oh, you're using Gollum as bait.
Oh, subterfuge. Right. I can get him. Okay. Clever. Very clever. Oh, you're a clever elf. All right. Yeah. Hey, I'm game. As he gives like
a diversion.
A diversion. Yes.
I wasn't aware that you knew the word subterfuge.
Huh? Hi. We have excellent public education down in Erebor.
My apologies.
Nice to hear that. That's why I knew there was always something I liked about those guys.
So it'd be like, yes, our university system is top of the range.
Yeah, I'm U of E, University of Erebor.
God.
I'm Iron Hills State.
Just general knowledge, you know. I imagine they're only like go up to like 7th grade, and then they're like off to the mines.
Yeah. It's a little bit of like weird socialism, educating everybody, and then immediate child labor.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Instead of an Ivy League, it's an Iron League.
Ooh, all right. Okay.
I would like to know how Gollum is reacting to all of this as we're talking about him like he's not there, which I'm sure he's used to. But
I mean, I'd like all of you to make awareness checks for me.
Oh, that's better.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not making you roll 2 insight checks in a row, Beery. No, you didn't.
I did.
2 Gandalfs in a row?
2 Gandalfs in a row, and I rolled a
Why are you
6.
surprised? He's been rolling like this.
No, I
has.
haven't.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. The drinking game folks are just going to be having a field day tonight.
Oh,
Right.
bring
God.
it.
Off to a strong start.
Wait, I rolled
18.
3d6 now. I
Okay.
just upped it.
Tanel, 18. Gandalf for Beery. Halloweth,
I gotta get my
23.
thing open. I'm sorry.
23. My god.
26.
Oh my god.
God.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Sorry. All right.
No, you're good.
What am I doing?
Awareness.
Which
You
one?
can make an awareness.
Awareness.
check.
Oh, okay.
I just invested in awareness.
Nice. By the way,
16.
16. Excellent. By the way, just so you all know, we are approaching the point in the campaign where things are going to sort of level cap. You've gotten a lot of skill points. You will eventually be able to get more, but sort of the difficulty level up until Rohan has we've reached
Yeah,
our peak.
I've just maxed out my bow.
Nice.
Oh.
Nice.
Whatever.
66.
It's not going to help you.
All right. So the 4 of you look down at Gollum, and he is well aware of exactly what you are doing. And he is looking up at the 4 of you with anger, but sort of a resentment, but also a certain level of acceptance. He's been captured. You've shown him a modicum of kindness, Beery, but he knows sort of exactly what's going on here. He doesn't say anything, though. He just keeps his mouth shut.
How uncharacteristic.
Mm.
Quick, like observation question.
Go ahead.
From here, can we see the sort of guards posted along the wall and everything?
Yes,
12.
you and Halloweth both rolled last episode. There are 12 guards.
Okay, thank you.
6 on top and 6 on the ground that are seem to be like circling the not hill, but it's a little hillock itself.
Are they-
Those
Sorry, go on.
those like armor or uniforms that they have on. Did we see any of those in the caravan?
Interesting.
Interesting question.
I'd say from this distance, you probably wouldn't be able to make out anything specific from
Fair
the
enough.
armor. They're far enough away, and elf eyes, sure, but
Mhm.
little details like that,
Yeah.
probably not yet. You'd have to get a little closer.
All
right, fair.
More question as well. Just
Go
see
ahead.
if guards are friendly or not.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can
I was-
certainly find out if you want to make your way towards.
Yeah. Can I stealth towards these guys? Actually,
I will just say, you can go off from the other 3, but Edoras is the area around it is tiny hills. You're far enough away that you are covered by a hill. They don't see you yet, but any chance of sneaking up or sneaking in would have to wait until nighttime.
Gotcha. Okay, never mind then.
I mean, Toriel, what if they don't accept us at all? They take Gollum and close the doors on us. Do we just scale the wall in the dead of night?
Yes.
Excellent.
All right. Raval approaches you after a few moments when you've made your plan, and approaches you and says, Lady Tariel, shall we be accompanying you? A show of force or a smaller party?
Raval, no. I would like you to take a force of half a dozen and spread out around Meduseld. Keep a fair distance. Do not be seen. We will signal you when we're safely within. It may take a day.
And if we do not hear from you?
I'll leave it to you to make that judgment. If you do not hear from us in 2 days, something has gone wrong. And Rohan is not an ally that we can trust.
Understood.
Return to the caravan and see what they need.
At once. Your signal, my lady.
She turns to Halloweth. How well do you think your abilities could be used in these lands?
Fairly well over a small distance at the moment. I've never tried to go anything more than a mile or so. But there's no real interference, I guess. There's nothing else to control all the way until the caravan, basically. So I can do my best. If nothing else, I can try something which I've been wanting to try for a while, which is attempting to send a message with a bird.
Very well.
Okay.
Yeah, so she turns back and says, whether you hear from us by ground or by air, you will hear from us. And if you don't, you know what to do.
Very well. I will just ask out of game, Charlotte, the caravan is a few days away of travel still. Do you want them to go back to the caravan? You said go back
If
to the
like if they don't hear from us, like if it seems safe that we're not coming out,
Got it.
get out of here, go look after those people.
Got it. Okay.
And
okay.
then
Got it. All right. Okay. So Rayval nods and says, by your leave, Lady Tariel. Good luck.
thank you.
And as we
go ahead.
begin to venture closer, Beery is tied up, just like he could wiggle himself free, but he is ceremoniously tied up with Gollum as just a sign of like equity. Maybe he's trying to attempt it. He's gonna try and pull Gollum aside, like, "Hey, don't worry. This is all for like formalities. We're just trying to get through the gates. Don't worry about it. You have my word as a dwarf of Erebor, son of Roki. No harm will come to you."
Words of Roki, precious.
Oh, it's my mom.
He looks at you inquisitively. And then kind of just does like a little and
cool.
Yeah.
Did the elves hear that? Just so that I can have his mom's name in my notes.
You know what?
With our elf ears?
I think yeah, it's close enough, I'd say. Close
I mean,
enough.
he doesn't have a very high stealth.
Yeah,
So,
and
No.
elf ears and hearing in general is, I mean, elves are the elves break my game essentially when I try and balance things between the races of people. But anyway, I digress. All right.
Roki original production.
Okay.
Excellent.
That's a really dumb joke. I'm sorry.
I know, I like it.
No, it's perfect.
The four of you with Gollum in tow tied to Beery make your way towards the front gate of Edoras. The elves would see several of the guards along the walls. As you get closer, they do notice you. One of them calls to the others, points out at you off into the distance. And you can see some of them, the ones that were circling on the ground, begin to climb the ladders that are outside the gate so that they can get behind the walls for safety. And as you sort of get closer and closer, you do notice that some of them begin to knock arrows. As you're approaching probably about 100 yards at this point, you would start to notice that the ground beneath you is muddy and gross. The smell is the thing that gets to you first. And Beery, I think you would notice this specifically because it smells very wet and dank. No insight checks needed. You would all realize the caravan was here. There are animal droppings everywhere. There's no grass to speak of. It's trampled everywhere. It smells like the fairground petting zoo, but 100 times over, right? It's gross. And it's not being very well kept. There doesn't look like there's been any attempt made to make it look neater or that the caravan wasn't here. And as you approach, you do see that the guards do have their bows drawn on you. Tariel, I will ask you this. How far away do you stop before this gate?
As close as they'll let us get.
Okay. So I'll
10
say
feet?
you guys get as close as you possibly can. They halt you probably about 25 feet before the gate, and they start speaking in a language that nobody here would understand. And after they say a sentence and there's silence, they try to say something else, same style of language. And after a few sentences that they're saying out, they realize you don't comprehend this at all. And so one of them calls out, "Do you speak the common tongue?"
Aye, soldier.
What business do 3 elves, a dwarf, and their beast have in the Riddermark?
We will speak our business to one who would speak to us face to face.
I know it's an extra 6 HP away from the final boss. It was
Thank
worth
you.
it. It was worth it. I can see your face from here just fine. Elf, I am Fungor, captain of the guard of King Grima Silvertongue.
Silvertongue. I'm Tariel of the Woodland Realm. These are my compatriots. She leaves them unannounced deliberately.
Okay. Elves in Rohan. What business could you have in these lands where it is forbidden to travel without the leave of the king?
We're not your enemy. In fact, we are your allies, and we come seeking help from your king.
Allies so heavily armed.
She smiles a little bit and pulls out her knives and lays them down on the ground in front of her.
The one in your boot.
She pulls out the one in her boot and lays it down on the ground in front of her.
The one in your other boot.
She pulls out the one in her other boot, now looking a little miffed.
The one behind your belt.
I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
Indeed. The rest
And
of you?
she does a little bit of like maybe elvish prestidigitation and turns around and there's nothing.
Little French tuck.
Just,
gonna
like,
need
pull
you-
the
I'm
belt.
gonna need you to make a stealth check on that one.
Sure.
Just
sure,
pull the
sure.
belt as you turn.
Yeah, why not? We got a lot of dice for this one.
Now, currently, the hammer's in 2 pieces, and Beery's kind of walking with
The hammer
handle.
is currently in 2 pieces, and I will just say for the record, to clear things up, Beery, is Gorge coming with you, or is he staying with the elves?
There would have been
By
a
the way-
very hard and heartfelt farewell with Gorge as he hangs out with the elves because, yeah, he's not going to put his best bud in harm's way.
Yeah,
Gorge.
Tariel left a couple, not just around, she left a few back at the camp. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
could hang out at the camp.
Yeah.
I rolled a 15. I passed my stealth check.
15 passes. Okay. I need to make an awareness check for this guard. 6, 12, 14. Oh, so close. The dagger that you have behind your back under the belt gets slipped underneath without any trickery. Guards seem satisfied. The rest of the guards, though, start eyeing up the 3 of you. And Fungor says, and the rest of you, if you would be so kind.
Nothing but tools here. I'm a craftsperson, you see. Is there wagon wheels that need mending? Perhaps some forge work needs to be done. As he kind of gestures down to just his tool belt.
Make a persuasion check for me, Bray.
Mhm.
Make a persuasion
Gladly.
check for me.
Persuade.
Come on, please work.
Oh my god.
I like it.
You wouldn't deny an old man his walking
Walking
stick.
stick.
Yeah, 100%. Okay. Didn't roll great. 19.
Ooh.
Ooh.
What does that beat your target number by?
By 6.
Okay. Beery, the guards eye you very heavily. Very well, Master Dwarf. But one false move, and I shall have my men make you a pincushion. Are we understood?
Sure, yeah. I'm at your service.
Indeed. The other 2, I assume elves, relieve yourselves of your weapons.
Haleth takes off his bow,
Mm-hmm.
takes out Higlos, and just
Mhm.
hands it dead. Oh, and undoes his quiver.
Okay. The knives, Master Elf.
He kind of just said that he has no knives on him.
Do you do like a little, you doing a little sort of like there's nothing on me kind of dance? Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I'll say stripping is a good enough reason to convince them. Tanel?
Tanel, same thing, takes out the sword, sticks it in the ground, and she actually, a little bit petty like, takes a couple of her arrows and starts sticking them in the ground one by one. Sort of lays the bow over them.
Okay.
And takes everything off, but she does have a dagger in her boot.
Yes, you do. As a matter of fact, so the sword that Halbarad gave you is in the ground.
Yes.
The dagger is still in the boot.
Correct.
Fungor looks at you and goes, Elf, the boot daggers, please.
What do you mean? I have given, here is everything that I own.
Remove your boots, dear elf.
Fucking airport security over here. I knew he was going to do it.
This is great. Okay. Take off the boot without the, again, petty. She takes off the boot without the dagger in it, turns around and chucks it, and then takes the other boot off. And she's going to try to like turn it upside down and hold the dagger in it.
Yeah, with your thumb. So
yeah,
yeah,
and just do like this to show that it's not there.
That's what I'd have done.
This would be, yeah, so there's no sleight of hand here, but I'll say you can either roll a persuasion or a stealth. I will allow either.
Because the idea was to let it sort of like slip into her sleeve and then chuck the other boot.
Yep.
So
Also, could I
catch a little bit of skin?
Yeah, exactly, pretty much.
Okay.
Or
spend a, what is it, a hope or a fellowship point?
So you would spend a fellowship point here.
I want to spend a fellowship point.
Okay.
By Beery going, tapping his belt, like, oh, almost forgot. And he takes up the King's Echo from his belt. I almost forgot about this, and sticks it in the ground, trying to pull their eyes a little bit away.
Tanel add an extra D6.
Okay. Do you want, so would athletics maybe work here? Rather than stuff. I'm not.
Wait, do we have a dexterity? Do we have?
There's athletics. There's stealth. My athletics is lower than stealth. That's why I ask. I'm not trying to
do
like
stealth, so I feel like you should have to do stealth.
Yeah,
right?
It's because of what you're doing. I will allow for a persuasion check to attempt to, use words and actions as well. So you can. So I'll allow you persuasion or stealth, whichever you would prefer.
I'm gonna try stealth.
Meanwhile, Halworth rolled nothing to hide the king's fear. He just lied. Just straight out lied.
Fucking. It's the misogyny for me.
18.
Right.
18.
Oh, right.
Okay. And that's with the extra D6 from Beery?
22.
Ungor looks at you, arrows still pointed. Retrieve your boot, Lady Elf.
Why? It was a threat. They're just both boots gone, standing in the mud.
Tariel kind of does up
barefoot. Yeah.
Barefoot in front of Edoras. You hear Fungor yell, Guthor, open the gate. And you guys hear the clink of metal and the sound of wood scraping against wood, and the gate starts to open. And as the gate begins to open, you do see a huge man, about 7'2", 250 pounds built. Fungor, you see, is coming down from the ladder and says, Guthor here will be inspecting you for any weapons you may have attempted to sneak into Edoras. Though it be peaceful times, you are strangers to our land. You understand, of course.
Of course. And will you also be disarming? As a show of good faith.
You are in the king's house now, Elf.
So, no?
No.
Very well, but will Guthor be gentle?
Oh, he will be very gentle. And Guthor approaches you first, Tariel. Tariel, I will allow you, if you would like to try, to make a stealth check to somehow, you ever seen like Now You See Me or Now You See Me Too? And there's
Yeah,
that
that
way
whole-
that they sleight of hand.
Yeah.
I'll allow you to do it with ill favor if you would like to try and continue to keep the dagger with you.
Okay.
It's a really cool scene, but it's so unnecessary. Just give it to one person once they're finished searching. Stop flicking it around. Why do you keep flicking that card every?
If you guys want to play hot potato
it's
with
so
this
cool.
dagger, yeah, it is so cool.
But or I'm just like, stop it. Increasing.
Yeah,
too
it's just
much.
gonna be a thing.
So
If he checks her top first, she'll just try and slide it down her leg and do her boot. And then when she reaches down to pick up her boot, take or pull off her boot, she'll slide the dagger back up her sleeve.
Please
So
make
let's
me
see
a
if that works.
stealth check with ill favor, please.
Because I'm sure we're probably split apart. We can't like aid each other.
No,
very much.
you're they've got you standing one away from the other.
This is stressing me out, guys.
Yeah.
Can I use a hero thingy?
You want to use a hope point?
Can I use a hope point?
Yeah, use a hope point.
Mm.
Does that let me roll another d6?
Yes, one more d6.
10, 12, whatever 9 plus 12 is.
Okay, yeah, with a
Whoa!
with a 21, the three of you watch as Tariel performs some like jerky movements and like almost as left like you're pretending that Gulthor is being a little bit too rough with you. It's like, ow,
Mhm.
watch where you're going. The three of you would notice the flash of a dagger being transferred all throughout the long cloths of her robe in pockets. Gulthor does not see the dagger. I will
Ooh,
also
the hard eyes
add-
are back up.
there is a full taking off of the shoes for you though, Tariel. And we do this with every single one of the characters. I will allow Beery. You will keep your tools. However, Guthor is going to say, upon looking at the anvil that is also the flat portion of your hammer. What's this then?
Oh, that is my hammer. These are my hammers down here. Is he getting handsy? Is he, like,
No,
patting them
but
down?
at the mention of the word hammer, he goes, "You be careful with them hammers, eh?"
Oh yeah. Well, hey, do you need something? I feel like you look like the chap that needs like a big old axe or something. I'm gonna give her gifts. I make things for people.
You gonna give me an axe?
Oh, I could. Given proper materials, sure.
Guthor
I
looks
love
back.
a bribe.
Play your
Guthor
cards
looks
right.
back at Fungor, and Fungor just gives like a head shake and like, oh,
Hey,
no.
don't listen to him. He looks like a kind of a grump anyways.
He's pretty.
I'm a lot more fun.
He's pretty grumpy. I mean,
He's a grump. He looks like a grump.
Halloweth.
I have a reaction while Fungo looks. Also, Gunther looks round
Okay.
at Fungo, and they both look at each other.
Under
His breath, Halloweth just says "Orta," as is the king's fear, and he's using his magic to control the air to make his dagger rise about 50 feet in the air.
I love it.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Okay. Hang on. You've got Elrond's ring's jewel. There are people watching. Oh.
Beery currently
Oh,
is
the thing is that
attracting the ire of both these two, getting them in a little bit of an argument.
The guy is
Wind
searching.
magic.
That's why I waited for that moment while he searches theory.
Okay. You've got enough people on you. But it is a distraction.
Come on.
Instead of giving you
Rule of cool.
Instead of giving you ill favor, I'm gonna let you make a lore check. Just a straight lore check. No favor, nothing. You're just making a straight lore check.
Oh my God. And Don, as he's trying to, not that he knows, he's just a walking distraction. He also has the that tin dagger that he made really nice. He has that on him, but it's kind of like tucked into his. It's not readily accessible on his belt or anything. It's probably in his bag somewhere.
I would say Gunther looks at it, realizes it's a children's toy, and
look, I have I have a couple young ones back at home, and you make a little toy for that. And
Dwarves can have kids.
what was that?
Dwarves can have kids.
Oh yeah, plenty of them. Have
I
them in
thought-
litters.
Oh, I thought you just, sprang up out of holes in the ground.
It's a common misconception.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
There's even
No.
times where
Yeah, I know it's an extra 6 HP off to fight the boss. I don't care.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
this is
Zach?
actually being actually quite amicable. I thought you were gonna go grab my other hammer as well. I mean, this is kind of nice.
The boss says you can have the hammers. Just be careful,
Perfect.
otherwise I'll crush you under my feet.
Noted. All right, that's pretty much all Beery's got
Okay,
for the
that's the
distraction.
conversation. Zach, what'd you roll?
I rolled a 20, which is 9 above my target number.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and roll an awareness check for collectively with these guards. They need to beat their target number by the excess you do with yours. So they need to roll 9 over their target number.
Oh my God.
Here we go.
Terrible. A 3 and 3 4s.
Ooh.
You all watch as the dagger floats up into the air at the speed of a hawk. Nobody notices.
Oh my God.
I love it.
Gunthor pats you down, finds nothing.
Dagger, more like dag air. Hey.
Nice.
Tori, Gunthor comes to you.
Well, Tanel's gonna sort of like flick her wrist to try to get the dagger like under her bracer, so that when he pats, he's just patting the bracer and not
Give me a
feeling
stealth check. Give me a stealth check.
Oh.
You guys didn't think I was going to just let you walk into Edoras without getting a pat
No,
down,
of
right?
course not. No.
15, 4 above my target number.
4 above your target number. Please
Yes.
hold.
Also, fun fact about hawks: their top speed, the red-tailed hawk, is 120 miles an hour, whereas a falcon, peregrine falcon, their top speed is double that at 240 miles an hour. So
Mhm.
actually,
I believe-
the falcon is the fastest.
They're the fastest ones.
Mhm.
Wow.
Peregrines for sure. Yeah.
Peregrine falcon
And I
is
got
the
red-tailed
fastest.
hawks
That is
all
at a
around my
dive,
property.
but it's still
We
they're
do
the
too.
fastest animal on Earth.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Where everyone's
Bird
like, "Fuck the hawk."
facts.
It's like, falcons are twice the speeds of hawks.
Ooh, okay. I
Mm.
stand
And from
corrected.
cloacas to falcon. I mean, we're really covering the bird content for everybody.
We got it.
That's right.
Totally.
I'm really big
Ooh.
into birds.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm a massive bird guy.
You're a bird guy?
Hell
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
This is
technically,
great
so is
news.
Gwai. So is Gwai here.
So is
but,
quite
you know,
heavy, yeah.
Hey.
But no,
Mhm.
there's a game, one of my favorite games in the world, which I play almost every single day. It's a game called Wingspan.
Yes.
Wingspan.
Mhm.
One of my favorite
Yeah.
games. Yeah, I do bird watching quite regularly.
That's awesome.
What's
That's
your
amazing.
what's
I'm
your-
just-
oh, I heard about this on a This American Life episode. What's the thing of your bird? You're like, it's your spark bird. What's your spark bird?
My spark bird, that would be my probably a well, my favorite bird is a partridge.
The
it
ones
makes-
in pear trees?
my spark bird, which kind of got me into bird watching, is a robin, red robin.
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah, just because they used to come to they're my mum's favorite bird, and they used to come to our garden, and those were the first ones I kind of watched for a long time, and I found them
Oh,
just from
That's so
their behavior.
sweet.
But they can't sit on bird feeders, robins. They're ground feeders, so you have to
I
have a
know.
bird feeder just for robins.
Dude,
Oh,
They
I'm
have to
sorry,
eat
Don.
them
You
out like
killed
that.
me with the pear trees.
the pear tree portion.
Yeah,
I
but
That's
feel
so
like we're
partridges-
learning so much.
partridges are my favorite bird to watch because of the way. So most birds hop in a two-footed hop. Partridges are a few apart from the larger birds like roadrunners and many of the ones which walk, but they don't hop at all. They sprint. They
Like
run.
quail do.
They to the side as they run. Hilarious. And
Do you
it
follow
delights
Bird
me
of the
every
Week
single time.
on
Just
TikTok?
look at videos of partridges running. It's my favorite thing.
I don't know.
Kiss me
Think I
while
could. Okay, sorry. Well, we'll have to come back. We'll come back to this because I'm also a big fan of
Oh, okay.
the,
Yeah,
That's
I was
adorable.
the little
I
I was
dinosaurs.
trying to be ornithology society.
That's amazing.
I had no idea.
The aviaries.
Oh, I love this.
This is
I love
great.
this.
These are the kind of tangents that make the TTRPG. Amazing.
Big into birds. Any bird facts I can try.
I'm just gonna send you pictures of the woodpeckers that come into our yard. Then
What kind of
oh gosh, I don't remember. I think it's like the red crested ones that are black
Those-
and white. Yeah.
We get those, yeah. So you're in North Carolina, so we get
Yeah.
downies, red bellieds,
Mhm.
occasionally. I
get a
haven't seen one
couple.
yet. Yeah. And my sister is occasionally seen in Fuquay, the big one, the big ones. Why am I blanking on their name right now? Zach, what are the very big woodpeckers? The giant ones.
tend to be red crested, or often they're mistaken. Like the massive woodpeckers are actually sapsuckers. They're not actually woodpeckers.
Oh no, it's not those
Oh,
ones.
okay.
The pileated ones.
The pileated.
Pileated,
Yes.
that's what it
We
is,
get
that's what it
pileateds
is.
around
Oh,
here, but I've
yeah.
never seen one.
Yeah, that's
Amazing. Okay. All right. Tori, you were
Yes.
about to roll a stealth check before we got on this lovely.
Sorry.
tangent.
Oh, no,
thank you.
I in fact did, and I still have the roll. I didn't touch it, but I can't remember the number. So 1 second. 15. It's 15. It's 4 above my target number.
Okay, please hold. 6, 5.
I did roll a 6 as well in that.
Oh, okay, that's helpful. Because this guy also rolled a 15, but with the 6, it counts as an additional success. So you will succeed and he will fail in that.
Oh
He
my
stops at the
God.
bracer. All right, so having successfully smuggled in 2 daggers and a couple of hammers, you are brought to the Golden Hall of Meadowsild. Up the steps, you walk, and beneath you, as you gaze out into this human city, really the first human settlement most of you have probably been to in a while, or potentially for the first time, you see that there are dozens of people in these homes staring up at you. A small crowd is kind of gathered in that way that, you know, when a stranger comes to town, like the Music Man, everyone's like, oh, what's this little queer fellows that are here? There are a number of children and elderly people looking out through their windows, glancing up at you. Nervous, confused, weird looks on their faces. But a lot of what you see within Edoras right now are young men as you make your way up through the hill and up the steps. A lot of young-ish men, early teens to late 30s, all some dressed in, you know, rags, others soldiers, but they are all looking at you very strangely. And
Are there no women here at all?
the women that you see are either very elderly or very young, but you don't see any young women coming out to see or anything really like that.
Oh, this is concerning.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
While you all consider that, I have to go quick chat with my wife. Hang on for 5 minutes. Chat amongst yourselves. Keep in mind we are still recording, so Charlotte, don't say anything too raunchy.
Well, I won't. I was just gonna. Can we just take our 5?
Sorry, I can't hear you. Just ignore the raunchy.
Can we just take our 5?
Oh, do you want to take our 5?
Just take
Yeah,
our 5.
let's take our 5.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's-
let's take our 5. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Perfect.
Yeah, all right. We're going to take our 5-minute break. We'll see y'all in a bit.
All
Okay,
right.
bye.
Cool.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
And welcome back. When we last left off, our adventuring party spent the last 45 minutes creating a plan and walking to a front gate and desperately trying to play, I was going to say keep away with a dagger, but I guess it doesn't work. Halloweth, before
We
I thought
spent
of
the
this,
last 45 minutes being prestidigitate.
Absolutely.
When I walk past the guards and kind of by ourselves a little bit, that I can just turn the daggers.
go ahead and make an athletics check for me. I want to see if actually,
am I gonna
no,
miss?
it's okay. You know what? I was gonna make you roll for it, but I already said you made it to the front door. So dagger comes floating back down in hand. And you all are at the front gate of Meadowseld. The door opens, and before you, actually, I think I'd like to show you.
Oh,
Our
Oh,
very
no.
talented artist, Sarah and
Yes!
Chunky,
yay!
has once again outdone herself. For folks listening on the podcast, I shall describe it as thus.
And watch on YouTube. What are you doing?
Yeah, I was watching on YouTube as well.
It's available. Go watch it. Go see.
The four of you plus Gollum. And keep in mind, Gollum has attracted quite a number of stares, but the guards just assume it's like some sort of withered beast of sorts.
They're not wrong.
You all walk in, and the bright golden goldenness that you all assume Meadowseld has because you've all seen the movies is nowhere to be found. Instead, you see this.
Oh,
Oh my
Grima
goodness.
Wormtongue.
Oh boy.
As you walk in to the front door, Grima Wormtongue sits on the throne with banners of maroon with a gold circle and raven inside the circle above it, holding a sword that the actual people would recognize.
Stay sword, bitch. That's Theoden's sword.
But the characters would have no idea. Sarah, you have outdone yourself once again. This is amazing. I love it.
Incredible.
The guards stand in front of Grima, two of them to either side, helmets adorned, one carrying a shield and a spear, another just standing, but you do not see a sword anywhere on him. The banner of the horse behind the throne. Grima, sitting on the seat, looks at the four of you and Gollum inquisitively. Fungor walks up to Grima and announces the four of you. My lord. And kneels. Strangers from distant lands
no.
approach. Yeah, I know. I don't care anymore. I've given you people enough HP. I want to say it. It's fun. Grima remains silent, stares at you for a good 30 seconds, and there's this awkward silence that hangs about the room.
During that silence, are there any other guards besides the two standing in front of him?
The 6 that escorted you to the front door are now along the perimeter of the inside, with Fungor standing by the door with Gunthor, the big guy. So there are now 9 people plus Grima Wormtongue from Rohan in this room. So eventually, after this long, awkward silence, Grima says, "'Tis strange, this gathering of elves and dwarves and," looks at Gollum, "beasts, all together at once. I'm sure the circumstances of your meeting were serendipitous. Welcome, weary travelers. I am King Grima Silvertongue of Rohan. You come to our hallowed halls in these
troubled times. You have no doubt heard the news of what befell our kingdom not all those months ago.
Don, you are wasted on just sharing facts with the world. I don't know what's going on in here, but it needs to be monetized.
My
Okay.
Pretty
Grima
good.
impression? My
Mhm.
Grima
It's
impression?
very
I knew
good.
it was coming. I
very
knew it was
good.
coming, and I knew it was going to be awesome, and I was not disappointed. Okay. Prompt me again. Prompt us again. Sorry.
Well, no, actually, I'll say that Grima looks down at you and all goes,
Weary travelers, you are welcome here for the evening as you continue upon your journeys. But please, it has been many years since elves or dwarves have graced the halls of Meadowseld. Who are you?
As I suppose Tariel is the de facto leader of this little band. She doesn't bow, but she nods graciously and says, I am Tauriel of the Woodland Realm, long ally of Rohan, though it has been many years since I've set foot in the lands of your fathers.
Indeed. And even my father's father and his father before him. The House of Aeol has seldom called upon the aid of elves. And I must say it is perhaps many hundreds years that you have graced these halls. The sight of such tragedy. But I digress. Your dwarven friend. And he kind of starts to take an interest at you, Barry, glancing at you tied to the with rope still tied to Gollum. He glances back at you, Tariel. Is this dwarf the captive with this beast you carry?
The dwarf is not my captive. The dwarf is my companion. The beast he carries is a fine piece of interest that we've picked up along the road, a wretched being, as you can see. We knew not what to make of him nor what to do with him, and thought perhaps you in your wisdom would have better counsel.
Anyone who wants to can make an insight check.
No.
Yeah, I want to see how everyone's reacting, guards and all.
Yep.
Enjoy the others. He seems like a fine chap.
Beery is just like, yeah, going well so far.
17.
17.
Two over my target number.
Okay. Hallowith. Tariel.
I got a hang on.
I'm 11, too shy of my target number.
Okay.
I got 26.
26.
Eight over my target number.
And now,
Jesus.
Hallowith,
Mhm.
you two would notice the briefest moment of pause where Grima makes eye contact with Gollum. And there is just the slightest beat. His eyes go a little bit wide, and he immediately comes back to you. It only lasts an instant. Looks back at you, Tariel.
I confess the creature is beyond my ken. It is a wretched thing indeed. Whereabouts did you find such a one?
We found him lost in the woods of my lands. I know not whence he came.
Is it one of your kind? I have heard of many of the... Forgive me, my lady. Legend of fallen and corrupted elves run rampant in these lands. Old wives' tales, you understand, but to see such a creature before me does give me pause.
Yeah, Grima would see Tauriel just sort of like reflexively reach for her knives. She's so incensed at this comparison.
Your knives not being there, Grima gives a little smirk.
Forgive me, my lady. It is passing strange. What would you have of the king of Rohan?
Well, the king of Rohan that I'd heard tell of is no longer astride the throne. When came you by this and how?
Grima lets out a long, long sigh. A tragedy. Such a tragedy. You are familiar with the eruption in the east. Yes, the great mountain spewed forth its fire. It sent ash and smoke billowing towards our lands. And yet as it approached, we were saved. The divine powers that guide all of us shifted the winds, and we were spared. King Theoden, that which had the seat before me, Theoden took it as a sign of peace times, the ending of all evil. And indeed, the riders from Gondor assured us of such. Not a few days later, the Tower of Barad-dûr is no more, they said. Rejoice! But the king's nephew, Eomer, he would not see reason, nor would his son, Theodred. Always their tempers. They ruled his heart, they ruled his mind. He called the riders' news false, a trick of the enemy. But it was not a day later. The king spoke to me privately about his worry for Eomer. These last years, a warmonger he has become, he told me. He will drive us to chaos and ruin. I fear the peace that has come may not be in our lands as it is elsewhere. And then, not 2 days later, there were words spoken, terrible things, things that you cannot take back. The king and his nephew and his son, they fought, realizing that his nephew had fallen into shadow. He asked his advisor, King Grima, to carry such a burden. For truly a burden it is to rule. And so I do. I rule in his stead with Eowyn by my side. And he catches himself, realizing, forgive me, my betrothed Eowyn, niece of the late King Theoden. She weeps. She weeps, and her tears stain the hallowed halls. Eowyn and I had always been close, even as children. I always thought her hands would be laid in another, a Gondorian noble's, perhaps, but it was not to be so. A bright light in these dark times. Theoden named me king. Many here in this room were here to see it. Were you not, my friends? And you would all notice there are nods from the people in the room as well. And there's a couple of, hey, here.
During this whole speech of his, Tanel's been looking at the guards. What are their reactions to it?
The reactions to the speech are non-existent. They are watching Grima, they are watching you, and they are flicking back and forth with expressionless faces.
Interesting.
As Grima is talking, though, you hear the patter of footsteps coming from a door not too far from the throne room on the right-hand side. The door is opened, and a medium-sized dog walks through, probably about 50 pounds, 22 kilograms or such. And Grima looks down and smiles at it and goes, this is Silas, a companion of my betrothed, Eowyn. A lovely beast. And he very gingerly tries to like pet it a little bit, just kind of a general shakiness. But he immediately goes back to his, what you all could probably clock, no insight checks needed, as a long rehearsed speech.
What does Silas look like?
Silas is a he's like one of those really mangy Irish wolfhounds that
I was hoping you were gonna say an Irish
yeah,
wolfhound.
yeah, little
Love it.
little on the bigger side, but small for Irish wolfhounds, but medium-ish sized dog. And yeah, just it looks as though he's older. He's got like the thing that dogs have where their eyes start to sag a little bit when they get older. He's not like wide or waddling or anything, but he's an older dog.
He's a good old dog.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So anyway, Silas just sort of does that little circle and sits down in front of Grima and gives a little, as so many dogs do. And Grima continues his tale, and he says, then treachery and violence. Eomer, upon hearing this news so grievous to him, pleaded to be brought before his uncle, begged to be let into this golden hall. The king has a soft heart, and his nephew's cries were enough to sway him. So Theoden bade enter to be let in. A greater mistake there has never been in these hallowed halls. For Eomer drew his blade and stabbed the king in the chest. And there is a brief pause as he sort of lets that sink in.
Tariel makes a sort of distracted, belated, too, perhaps somewhat a beat too belated, sympathetic noise.
Okay.
Cullen's going to stifle a yawn and then roll insight.
Make an insight
Oh
check.
my.
Yeah,
an
there we
insight
go.
check.
There we
Yeah.
go.
27.
With a 27, good Lord, with a 27, you know immediately that this guy has practiced this speech 100 times over. He knows every beat, he knows how to hit it, and he has told this story to so many people in these halls before. He continues.
Oh,
Wait,
good.
can I also do an
Oh,
insight check?
you may
Since
also
I'm
do
the
it.
one in the path of the monologuing.
Oh, he's monologuing to
I know
all
he's
of you, but
monologuing to everybody, but I'm like, I was dumb enough to ask him this, so 16, I passed.
16. With a
passed the
16,
test.
with a 16 insight, you would also gather, maybe not quite so severely as Halloweth, but you would kind of get the sense that this guy's told this story a few times before.
I know this guy. Am I getting the vibe at least that this guy is like probably full of shit?
I don't know if with a 16 you would think he was full of shit. I think Halloweth certainly does. You would get the sense that something happened here, and this guy is sticking to his story and will continue to stick to his story. And the people around you all will back him up. That's what you get on a 16.
Okay.
He continues.
Oh God.
It was only through the help of those here in this very room, my friends, those still loyal to Theoden, that Eomer did not kill all of us as well. He took the sword from his uncle's chest and pointed it at me. King you will not be, he said, for I, Eomer, will take the throne, marry my sister, and my line shall be pure for all time.
Oh, Targaryens. I mean, Aemon.
Oh, player Tori knows this is bullshit, but Danelle just
Yeah,
thinks it's weird
feel
human
like-
shit.
I feel like even at this point, like I think even with the 16, which is only a couple points over, but I feel like Tariel might glance ever so slightly sideways at her compatriots. Like, does this sound like the monologue of a play to you? Like, this is not. I don't know humans real well, but she just gives him a look like this.
It's a 10th grade
Smells.
monologue.
Yeah. Like, I feel like at that point, Grima was starting to overplay his hand a little bit.
Naturally, chaos followed. Sorry, go ahead.
Shit.
Sorry, I was going to continue.
Shit.
I was going to continue as Grima, but go ahead, Hallowed.
Haleth casts a storm,
Which is
just means dust, and he's going to collect as much dust as possible and try and just force it push all the way.
what? Just getting him to cough a little bit.
Make him sneeze.
Just sneeze, but he cannot get any, so that he cannot get any more words out.
Okay. So just to be clear, you're attempting to do some magic in front of a bunch of humans in the middle of the king's speech.
I mean, Sarah, it's dust.
Just a little.
Yeah. Okay.
It's dusty in here.
Yeah.
It's a single word under my breath of a storm. And that's
Give me a lore check, but this time
I
with
love
no
this.
favor. With no favor.
Please.
Just a regular.
Please. Oh, please. I've
Come
got
on,
my toes
baby.
crossed too.
You
Here we
have
go.
hope points. You have hope points.
Don't Ed. I'm
Okay,
pretty
that's a
sure you got
13.
5 on lore.
So Grima's screwed.
That's a what? That's a what?
I beat my target number by 19.
Joke.
Oh, I love it here.
You guys watch as it is
Tariel leaps in with this opportunity that she's been given. Yes, the will of the Valar, truly inscrutable and fickle. It goes as easily as it comes. Well, my liege, I see heavy is the head that wears the crown, and truly.
indeed. Indeed.
The best
Indeed.
spell I've ever done.
Indeed, my lady. And he sneezes.
Bless you. I'm so sorry. Also, Beery probably has no idea what's going on. I am so sorry for the grievances that your vast kingdom has experienced. That is
Do not weep for me, my good dwarf. Your kindness is appreciated, however.
But hey, congratulations on your recent betrothal. Where is your lovely bride? I hear she's kind of down on in mourning, but perhaps a bit of merriment might help us out a little bit.
Indeed. Are you familiar with my betrothed?
Oh, I would never. I'm not familiar with much of anything, but I'm very familiar with parties. And if you've not had a wedding party, a reception at that, we need to have that henceforth.
Indeed. And you see him start to, the gears start turning, and he says, indeed, it has been many, many weeks. My betrothed has been heartbroken and betrayed. She has locked herself in her room all of these months. We bring her food and water, but alas, the weeping does not cease. Perhaps a friend would be a most welcome sight, or new intrigue. Tell me, you and your company, how long do you... And he stops very pointedly. And there's a moment, no insight checks needed, that you all see him collect his thoughts, glance out at all of you, and says, alas, my kingly duties may pull me away. Tell me, how long was your expectation of utilizing the Rohanian hospitality?
My liege, we The graciousness of your halls are renowned, but we would not prevail upon them longer than is necessary. We are but weary travelers, come dusty from the road, and wish only for a night, perhaps two, of rest before we go on our way.
Beery tries to like lean a little bit more pathetically against his the hammer handle that he's using as a walking stick. Oh,
Hallows is like, indeed we are. He puts a little shake on. Rail.
Excellent.
Beery, Halloweth, roll me persuasion checks. While you're doing that, I think you will see Grima look at the two of you, Halloweth and Tanel, and I think be a little bit taken aback, assuming that you were Tariel's bodyguards, and hearing you speak
Yep.
is
Mhm.
maybe reconsidering what exactly you might be.
I got now Sauron, so I'm not very believable in
Oh no!
Oh no, you're putting on the words a
I
little bit.
too rolled an Eye of Sauron.
Oh God, no!
You
I did
watch
beat my
as
target number, but it was not Eye of
Eye of
Sauron.
Sauron. You watch as Grima eyes you for and Gollum and goes, indeed, your company is, of course, welcome to stay the evening. I confess my halls are, they call it the massacre at Meadowseld these days. It took 3 men to bring down Eomer. He slew another 3, but not before setting fire to the roof of the Golden Hall, spread to many of the houses. And you guys do notice the faint smell of burnt everything, but as though it's been covered up a little bit. And it's still very dark in here. Some of the windows are boarded up a little bit, and there's very few torches. Very well, Master Dwarf, I shall keep your merrymaking into consideration. Meantime, Lady Taria.
Tauriel.
Yes, your companions. I confess I assumed they were for your own protection. Who are these 2 elves? They have not yet given their names.
Tauriel steps aside and lets them speak for themselves.
I am Halweth of Lorien. I was, well, you may have heard of the razing of the forest. We were somewhat displaced from our home and now look in search of another.
Lorien, you say?
Indeed.
And you, lady? Glancing at you, Tanel.
She takes a deep breath and hesitation in her voice says, I am Tanel of Lorien.
There's yet another moment that you would all notice, no insight checks needed. Grima is thinking. It is said that an elf witch of terrible power lives in the halls of Lothlorien under the stars and the trees. I wonder if you might know her.
We know of her, your grace, but she turned her power against us.
Indeed.
We have fled.
Make a persuasion check, Halloweth.
While he's doing that,
Mm-hmm.
this is going to be a stupid question. Is that dog acting like a normal dog?
Make an insight check.
Oh, good spot.
Good job, Tori.
Yeah, I beat my target number.
Okay. We'll wait for Tori's insight check.
No. Under by 3.
Damn. Seems like a normal dog, just laying down in front of Grima.
Mhm.
Indeed. Tell me, where is it that such a strange company would seek to travel to, coming through our lands.
Your Grace, your lands are wide and stand between us and the fair West, if indeed the West still be fair.
Yet you travel with a dwarf and a beast of some sort.
The shadow has touched many areas of the land. There are many of us displaced. But it seems your lands have been spared. You said so yourself.
These are times of peace, good lady. Indeed.
Are they?
Would you have any reason to think otherwise?
Your Grace, I mean no offense, but we noted some tracks beyond the gates of your halls, as though a great company had been recently here. Where are the people of your lands?
My peoples are in their villages, their homes, their steads. My people are where they need to be. If it is that Steward Faramir wishes for aid, he need only but to ask. Our alliances are ancient, yet I have received no word. Those which you saw, merely travelers and vagabonds upon the road. Those that would wish to bite the hand that would feed them. Easterlings, Haradrim, have they not been our sworn enemy since the early days of Aeol the Young? Where does a king's duty lie, if not with his people?
Forgive me, my Grace. I don't remember that I said we saw anyone.
Oh, I am very well aware of your implications, my lady. It is difficult to miss such a passing of rabble, is it not?
Forgive me if I imply anything. It is only that your lands are protected by some golden grace of the Valar, and without, the world is in chaos. We come hearing of your benevolence and your esteemed protection. If we were mistaken, we'll exit your halls and trouble you no more.
Ariel, the instant you imply that there is danger anywhere outside of Rohan, you see Grima's expression instantly change to anger. But as you say if we're wrong, let us know, he composes himself again. Indeed, lady, the eruption of the mountain was, as King Theoden so wisely proclaimed, and those in Gondor proclaimed, a sign of the times of peace. If there do be troubles down in the south and to the east, let their leaders deal with them as they may. I shall think of Rohan first.
And I will think of my people and my friends, your Grace. And it is only their protection I seek for this one night.
And you shall have it. You are all welcome in the Golden Hall of Meadowsilt. And he gestures to Gunthor. See that their weapons are collected and brought to the blacksmith to sharpen. And you shall be fed and housed for the evening, and you may be on your way in the morning.
So when is
Indeed,
the party, the reception happening?
His eyes flick to you in a kind of disdain, but begrudging look. Indeed. I shall discuss with my counselors the participation of celebration.
Surely this is appropriate in times of peace, Your Grace.
Indeed. Indeed. Make a persuasion check for me, Beery.
How about them apples? Mr. Peacetime King.
There's always time for a party, bitch.
If there's nothing the matter.
If there's nothing else going on,
Right?
if the volcano's partying, then why can't we?
Yeah, exactly. And think of the tears now dried from merriment and joy.
Let us lighten the spirits of the queen.
Max.
Oh,
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 A Gandalf
oh.
With a 6
with a 6.
from Gandalf's to eyes to Gandalf's.
I swear it's Gandalf's or Eyes of Sauron today. My God, it's the Galadriel fight all over again. Okay.
Think of the good it would do
I've got
to
an
your
Unzun's
betrothed.
pen here.
Oh, nice.
For those listening on the podcast, it's a weird multicolored disco ball spinning mechanical electronic pen. It's pretty
It
fun.
just died.
Oh
It
no.
just died. It just breathed its last so that
Oh,
Grima could
no.
have his party.
Oh. Okay.
I feel like tonight's the night to dry those tears. Maybe some new faces will help her, temperament.
Elvish wine.
We come bearing gifts.
What you
not
want?
gifts.
Mhm.
I will say this. Grima looks at the 5 of you, including Gollum, and says, "Very well, I shall consider your proposal." Gunthor. And Gunthor starts bringing you guys around to show you
Gunthor's the
door.
life of the party.
And as you guys are about to step out, you hear Grima from behind you say, "Just a moment." And you see him get up from the chair, swing the sword just a little bit in a sort of like lackadaisical fashion. "Strangers from strange lands, forgive me. I forget that elvish and dwarven customs are perhaps different among such peoples. Your arrival may herald the dawn of a new age, for indeed it has been many lives of men since elves have graced these halls. What better way to celebrate than with my nuptials to Lady Eowyn?"
I knew that was coming. Oh, this will be fun.
"My Lady Tariel, there was mention of elvish wine.
Oh, yes, Your Grace.
Mayhaps you have brought enough to feed your entourage and mine."
Never leave home without it.
"Very well. A wedding it shall be."
Oh, God.
And that is where we are going to end tonight's episode of the Unpredicted Party.
Let's party with the despot.
I have
And
so-
steal a
God.
bride.
Are we going to play
Steal
rollies
his
with
bride.
Grima?
Hi, Danny.
can
You want to come to the
certainly
party
try.
too? Come on.
Is there a doggy? Is there a doggy to be?
There's
Hi,
a
doggy.
doggy. She's coming
Doggies.
to the party.
There's a
You
doggy
speak?
in the game.
Oh.
There's a doggy on Charlotte's lap. All right.
Sorry, you thinking what I'm thinking?
Oh, we're stealing Eowyn, right?
Oh, yeah. And we're going to kiss her so much.
Exactly.
If I remember well, actually, no, I'm going to save my plans for next session because
Okay.
Ooh.
I've been playing a long game.
I see
About
this.
7 sessions now for my
Oh.
plan for this.
Okay.
Oh.
This is
Okay.
exciting.
You may not have realized, but it's already been. I've already started laying the groundwork for it, even now. So
Okay.
Zach, my body's ready. Let's go.
Oh, wheels
Okay.
within wheels.
All right.
yeah, I knew how I was going to do this. I've known this for months. I planned this out,
Hmm.
Oh
and it's
my
all going
gosh.
according to plan.
Amazing.
Oh, this is
Amazing.
lovely.
Ah,
Charlotte, you did that
Well
far
done.
too well.
Thank you. I love a maniacal laugh.
Ah, me too. Me too. Well played, all of you. Well played. All right.
Woo!
For those of you that are able to, we will have a quick unpredicted after party to discuss some Gandalf roles that may have changed the course of the game itself. Thank you all so much for joining. We'll be on Patreon for the unpredicted after party. We'll see you every other Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Join us next time for the wedding of King Grima Silvertongue and Eowyn,
It'll never happen.
daughter of Eowyn.
Marriage.
Marriage is what brings us together
Today. Oh, it's gonna be horrendous.
Watch, Barry's ordained. He's gonna be the minister.
Oh, please convince him. Please convince him that
I'm actually
Barry's
ordained. I've married people over my great grandfather's anvil. I would like play the bagpipes and I would forge their like rings together.
What?
Yeah. It's a thing
Why
I do.
am I surprised?
Okay, no.
I'm just texting my husband.
End it. We can talk about the thingy.
I would like to
Oh.
get married again, please.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Done.
same.
Just get
Do it.
divorced
I
real
would like
quick.
a do-over.
For 5, yeah.
Okay.
For quick
Yeah.
5 and yeah.
Renew
Okay.
vows as well. That's
The old Kardashian wedding. A do-over, if you will.
Yeah. To be fair, I'd say it's probably been about 72 days since this whole adventure started. So a Kardashian wedding might not be too far from the time frame of all of this. I can't believe you rolled that Gandalf. Okay, thank you all so much for joining us. We'll be on the unpredicted after party in a moment. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.